I've got one question for you. Are you ready to get your game on?
The longest-running off-road and action motorsports radio show on the planet is coming to you live with the biggest guest in motorsports. Here is the only man on the planet who can pack this much dirt slinging and tire slaying into 2 hours a week. Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to get your ears blown. Here is Jim Beaver and the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
All right. Another Monday morning here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. I am your host, Jim Beaver, just like I have been for the past 3 years. And I got to tell you, we got a banger of a show today. Kicking things off, we are going to have Miss Sara Price. She's going to be calling in here in just a few minutes. We're going to be talking about the Gazelles rally. We're going to be talking about a little UTV racing with her motorcycle racing history, and should be good. We're going to also have Brent Lee calling in later on in the show. We're going to be talking some rally racing with Brent and, and talk about his 2015 plans. Some big announcements on his part and coming off a great year in 2014. So going to look forward to catching up with Brent Lee. And then we've also got Miss Ami Houde, my Supercross sidekick. She's going to be calling in the second half of the show, and we're going to be breaking down all the action from Oakland. And let me tell you, it was wild. Also, we got X Games on tap, SCORE San Felipe 250. We got some World Rally Championship from Monte Carlo. And Mint 400 dropping some big bombs over the week, or last week, so to speak. So, great show on tap for today. Lots lined up. Looking forward to this one, man. It's going to be a fun show, and we're going to be throwing it down with some awesome ladies in motorsports and a legit stage rally driver. So quite the mashup we've got on tap for today. But I got to tell you, I look forward to this show each and every Monday, talking with you fans, and appreciate you all who tune in every week. And once again, if you want to chat with us during the show, it's at JimBeaver15 on Twitter. We'll get your questions in. We'll get them asked. And, it's, always looking forward to those fan questions. And, some great guests. And a lot of you have done a lot of interaction with Ami Houde, asking us questions on Supercross. Always shoot us those. Also, Sara Price, girls going to Morocco to race a UTV, for goodness sakes, let's, shoot us some questions. Looking forward to hearing those. And then, a lot of stage rally, people listening to this show. Brent Lee, get us your questions at JimBeaver15. And if you didn't hear, it's, a big announcement coming out of my camp and Rally America. We've teamed up for the 2015 Rally America Championship. We're going to be running a new radio show called Rally America Radio that kicks off at the Snowdrift Rally this Friday. So I'm traveling up to Michigan, and we're going to be doing it in the snow, down and dirty style. Looking forward to that. So you stage rally fans want to tune in to Rally America Radio, you can get a hold of it at downanddirtyradioshow.com, and all our normal channels will be streaming there as well. So always looking forward to teaming up with Rally America. Going to have some cool stuff throughout the rally season. So always looking forward to to expanding things and doing something a little bit different maybe we haven't done before. And looking forward to helping Rally America out and and airing live from in between the stages there up in Michigan here later this week. So definitely want to tune in for that. And don't forget, next week we are airing a special Tuesday show. Reason for that, I'll let the cat out of the bag. General Tire, their 100th anniversary this year as a General Tire athlete. Very proud to say that. I have a photo shoot with General Tire next Monday. So, me and about 7 or 8 other General Tire drivers, we've got a photo shoot lined up at a very special location for General Tire's 100th anniversary. So next Monday, I will be putting on makeup. I hate to say that, but one time a year I put on makeup. I'll be putting on makeup for General Tire's 100th anniversary photo shoot. So you definitely want to be on the lookout for those, because I got to tell you, it's their photo shoots are pretty awesome, and especially with with this being their 100th anniversary, I think they're really going to go all out, and it's going to make for some exciting photography. So look out for that. So next week, it's a Tuesday show. We're going to have some King of the Hammers, Parker 425, and as always, some more Supercross with Ami Houde. But right now, it's all about UTVs and the Gazelles rally in Morocco. So my guest Sara Price should be calling in here in just a minute, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the female version of the Dakar Rally. I know past guests of the show and our good friend Ami Houde, she has raced that twice now, I believe, and Sara Price changing things up with the UTV, but gonna really kind of cool to see her take on it, especially somebody with her background of motorcycle and UTV racing and the like. So it should make for definitely an exciting show today. Lots and lots going on. I mean, I'm just looking down this list, and I want to hear from you guys. What did you watch on TV this weekend? I mean, X Games, San Felipe, the live stream. We had WRC Monte Carlo. I know a lot of you are WRC. What do they call it? Plus. Subscribers, just so much going on. I mean, between Winter X and, I don't know, Supercross. I mean, I know I was locked into Supercross, and that was a wild one, but I want to hear from you. What did you guys tune into over the weekend? Lots and lots happening, and, definitely, exciting weekend of racing. And, Supercross, I don't know. I watched all the races so far, and I think this one was probably the most exciting of the year, hands down. I mean, it was just wild, start to finish, 250s, 450s. It didn't matter. It was action-packed TV, and you got to figure. I mean, Supercross, they've got this business model figured out. Hands down, they've got this business model figured out. It's just crazy. Everybody else fighting for listeners and viewership and everything else, but Supercross, I swear, they put out an exciting product every week. It's never boring. TV ratings are sky high, sellout crowds. They have the business model figured out for motorsports. I think everybody else is playing catch up. Even NASCAR. I mean, you talk about ratings down, you talk about sponsor dollars down, you talk about, tough getting people out to the track. Supercross, they have none of those problems. I mean, it's great racing, great personalities, great fan interaction, sellout crowds. It's just, I don't know, man. They have it nailed. Whatever Supercross is doing, I think the rest of motorsports need to take note and jump in on it. I know a few, Global Rallycross for one, they're doing a great job trying to kind of move to that business model. Robbie Gordon Stadium Super Trucks doing something similar, but right now, definitely Supercross, the leader of the pack. And man, I got to tell you, just looking at the numbers that they're putting out, it's pretty wild. It definitely is pretty wild. So we're definitely going to get into some deep Supercross conversation with Ami Houde later on in the show. But man, it is a great one, and I got to tell you, Atlanta, Michigan. Talking with Rally America, I get to head to Atlanta, Michigan this weekend. And Atlanta, Michigan, you tell everybody you're going to Atlanta. Oh, cool, you're going to Atlanta, Georgia. Nah, I'm going to Atlanta, Michigan. Looking at the weather report, I think we got a high of like 11 degrees this weekend. So, lows in the negatives with a little wind thrown in, and supposed to get some snow. And they call it snowdrift. I guess this would be the rally equivalent to Red Bull Frozen Rush. Definitely going to be wild. Definitely going to be wild. That's for darn sure. Looking forward to making my way up there, and gotta say, I've been to some stage rally events, but not a lot of them. I mean, I'm a huge fan of stage rally. We've covered it on the show for 3 years now, and I was a fan long before that. But it should make for some entertaining racing this weekend. But right now, it looks like we've got Sara Price calling in. How's everything going, Sara?
Good. How are you guys?
I am doing good. I got to tell you, I got to throw out an apology. We were going to surprise you today because obviously Ami Houde, I know a friend of yours, she's been doing some reporting and stuff. And I moved into a new studio and we didn't get all the phone lines put in, so I was only able to take one caller. And we were going to have Ami call in and surprise you. So my apologies. She had a bunch of questions for you and everything, and it didn't work out.
Oh, dang it. I've known Evie for a very long time, so that would have been really cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty bummed about it, to be honest with you. I know she said, like, she moved out to SoCal, and, like, you were her first phone call. She said, hey, let's be friends.
Yeah. Yep, she was one of the first people she probably met out here in California, so.
So, yeah, but let's talk a little bit about you. I mean, obviously the big announcement, we're going to talk a lot about, you know, your history, your background and stuff like that, but big announcement dropping, you know, the Gazelles rally. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, it's a very big deal going on because we're the first ever American side-by-side team to do this race and represent America. And this race isn't necessarily about speed, so it's a whole different skill that I'm having to build for the navigation side of things because this race is about the shortest distance, and we have no help of any sort of GPS or like electronics. So it's going to be crazy, but we're working hard, we're studying, and we're going to figure it out, and we're going to represent America well.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. You know, we become so reliant on things like GPS and stuff, and you know, printing out a MapQuest if you have to. I mean, I guess that's taking it a few years back, but you know, I mean, now you know, having to go back to compass and maps. I mean, that's you know, it's got to be pretty tough. I don't know that I could do it. I definitely would have to study.
Yeah, it's crazy. The maps are, you know, they're outdated as well, so we have to, you know, overcome that as well as learning the compass and all our angles, and you have to plot your map, and you have to figure out how to navigate the terrain by looking at that map and then from looking at it in person as well, but you don't have the opportunity to go check out things before you head in that direction, so that makes it tough, and it's a team of two people, so it's teamwork, and you got to trust each other.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, how did this whole thing come about? You know, I've known of, you know, we've covered the rally on this show for a few years now. A good friend of mine, Ami Houde, she's run it a few times. I know there's been some other Americans. Bethany Hamilton, I think, did it one year, did really well. I mean, how did this whole idea come about?
You know, yes, Stephanie did it, and Emmy, she's awesome. She's actually supporting us this year because she wasn't able to make it, which is a big bummer, but it's really cool, like, even the fact that Emmy is supporting us, you know, she's a previous competitor, and it's just, the sportsmanship is just amazing for this event, and it's just a bunch of amazing women, and I ran upon it a few years back, and I was like, wow, this is so cool, like, what? There's all these women all around the world, and they're doing the most gnarliest thing I've ever seen. And I wanted to be a part of that, and I didn't know how to attack it at first. And this year, I was like, let's do this. And so I asked, actually, a good friend of mine, Erica. She's a experienced driver in Baja and all that stuff. So she was a perfect competitor because she helped me work on my car. Since if you break down, you kind of need to know your stuff because you got to fix your own car. And she was like, all right, let's do this. And it just, one thing led to another. I talked to Kawasaki, and they were 100% on board, and we made it happen.
Nice. And so, you know, I believe you guys are the first ones to try and tackle this with a UTV, right?
Yes, we're the first ever American UTV.
Nice. So, you know, I know the past couple of years you've got some experience in a UTV. Obviously, I think last year you did some short course. I know you did Terrcross and stuff like that. So, you know, you've made the transition from the bike to the UTV. So this isn't that huge of a drastic step for you into the unknown, right?
Yeah, no. I recently got into the cars about 2 years ago, and it's nice because of the fact you have a cage around you. I'm used to a dirt bike where if you crash, you get hurt. So.
Yeah. Well, how has that been? I mean, transferring your motocross skills over to a UTV. I mean, has it been a pretty easy translation, or is it, you know, you had some struggles?
No, it probably benefited me a lot coming from the dirt bike because, you know, in motocross you work so hard and every day is training and skills and you're working on this, you're working on that. In the cars it's a lot more relaxed. Everyone's kind of out there having a good time, but I had the advantage of having some skills, knowing lines, knowing track, knowing the terrain, and, you know, just the basics. And I transferred over pretty well. It took me a little bit to understand the car basics and the fact of knowing, you know, four wheels. But after I got that down and I hopped into a Polaris 900 and started just racing everything and had a lot of seat time and started doing really well.
Yeah. How was, you know, because I'm going to be racing Terrcross this year, so I'm kind of excited to know. I mean, I know you raced, I believe, the San Diego event last year. How was that? Because, I mean, those tracks look pretty heinous.
It is awesome. Dave McFree, he's actually the one who built this track, and you're going to have a blast because they usually have like an over-under section that is pretty gnarly, and like you look at it and you're like, whoa, you do this in a car, and yeah, it's pretty intense, but they're really fun. It takes a lot of it's very technical, so you kind of have to slow down your mind to go faster. But in the end, that's probably the funnest race I have ever done in a car so far.
Yeah. Well, and talking about going back to this Gazelles rally, I know, obviously Kawasaki on board. I know you've got some funding coming in. Let's talk a little bit about this crowdfunding campaign, because I looked it up, and, it looks like you guys are doing pretty solid. I mean, explain to some of the listeners about what you're doing, how you're trying to generate some more funds.
Yeah, so we kind of decided to do the Gazelle Rally at the last minute where, usually you have a year to prepare for it, but we decided to do this about 2.5 months ago. So it's been kind of crazy and last minute, and, a lot of sponsors, they're corporations who do have the money, and they don't have time to have the meetings and figure out the funds to get to us. So we're kind of doing this just from the support of family and friends. The Dark Horse campaign has been a tremendous help because it's so cool. Anyone and everyone can donate and help the cause and be a part of the team, and that's what we're all about. We're doing this just to have a good time and show that women can do anything, and the fact that everyone's on board. We on Saturday we had a big party here at a local place in our community, and it was awesome. But there was 300 people there supporting us, and it was humbling.
Yeah. Well, and paying attention to your crowdfunding campaign, I mean, I'm pretty impressed, because, a lot of people, I love the way you approached it. A lot of people go out and go, I just want the big dollars, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. And you guys have those packages, but you've also got some, down there, I think as low as like, what, $20, $25, and people can still get their name on the car and be a part of it. And I think that's pretty cool. You're opening your arms and saying, hey, come along with us.
Yeah, and we have some packages. The fact that you can put your name on our car for $25, but then the lowest thing on there is also $5 for a social media shout out, and then you have team product. And the coolest one, I think, and that's very popular so far, is the fact that when we go to Morocco, we're going to bring home a bunch of Moroccan stars, since that's very popular over there, and those have been selling like crazy, and it's so cool because that's something that it shows the culture, and it's just, we're so excited to share that with everyone when we come back.
Yeah, and I know with this, you talk a lot of teams, whether it be Dakar or Gazelles, and I know talking with Emmy, it was the same way. She says, you go the first year and it's a big learning experience, and she says then the second year you kind of implement what you learned, and then the third year you go to really win. I mean, is this a multi-year plan for you guys?
Yeah, we definitely want to go about it next year as well. We're going to prepare a lot sooner in advance, but I've heard the same thing because I know the navigation aspect. You have to learn that. You have to know like how to read the terrain, and it takes years and years to learn that, and we're trying to squeeze that into only a few months. And it's tough. It's a lot. It's who navigates the world that way these days, and it's really it's rare to fall like into that.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Everything about this event's just totally different. But let's kind of skip back a little ways because I want to touch on your motocross background. Because talking UTVs, talking Gazelles, but I mean, you made a name for yourself. Racing motocross. I mean, how was that? How did you get into motocross? And take us kind of through the beginnings of your career.
So me and my family used to live in Riverside, and our next door neighbor was actually Josh Grant, who is still a very, very well-known Supercross racer today. And my brother was really good friends with them. They went to school together, and he got my brother into racing motocross. And then soon enough, I was racing motocross, and one thing led to another. My brother actually ended up getting hurt to where he kind of, there's a make it or break it point in motocross where you can keep going, you can get hurt, and it doesn't, phase you at all. Or you get hurt and you're kind of like, okay, I want to live a normal life, and I don't want to get hurt anymore. So my brother he got did school, had girlfriends and all that stuff to where I was like, okay, I want to just race. That's all I want to do. And next thing, I was winning national championships, and after that, I got picked up by Factory Kawasaki in the pro ranks, and I had a really good run at it. I medaled in X Games, and it was just a rad experience to be one of the only girls as a factory racer and to have all the opportunities I did to race the dirt bike.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit, because I've talked with this with a few people, and Amy being one of them. But I mean, kind of the state of women's motocross, because it seems like, I know that what the national championships has kind of gone away. I know Canadian championship, they've still got a pretty solid group of women racing up there. But it seems a lot of the female contingent have kind of gone the endurocross route now, because that's really the only place on an elite level where you guys can compete, right?
Yeah, definitely, because with TV time and media comes the sponsors, and the women's motocross really wasn't getting that anymore. When they pretty much canceled our series, we ran into that problem, the fact that sponsors didn't want to take us on because who doesn't want to be on TV, and we weren't getting TV time anymore. So that was the biggest part, and the fact that they kept endurocross and X Games and so forth, that was a big selling point. So, you want to ride your dirt bike, and you have to designate so much time to training to be competitive in it, and you need sponsors backing you, and so you have to go where the media is and where the money is, and because it's not a cheap sport,
Yeah.
And it's almost sad what happened in women's motocross, but I think all the girls are very diverse, and they found their ways, and they're all doing other things. Like, there's another pro women's motocross racer who's racing monster trucks now, and then I'm racing cars, and it's just, we always have the love for motocross, and we'll always race, and I guarantee you if that series came back in full effect, we would all be there.
Yeah. Well, what do you think it would take to get that series back and like it was in its heyday?
I think if we just got a TV package on board, that would pretty much solve all the problems.
Yeah, because I mean,
forced to have it, and then also the racers would be happy because the sponsors would want to sponsor.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking. Racers like you and Ashley Fialik, and I can go down the list. But you guys, watching you compete was just as exciting to me as watching the guys bang bars. You girls were going after it.
Yeah, no, and I say this all the time because in short course racing, it's very safe. You don't really hit each other. And in motocross, we take each other out in the last corner. We're like, hey, it's totally cool. Like, shake hands, and it's like we both wanted it, so this is what we do. We try getting it any way we can,
Yeah, for sure. So, circling back to Gazelles Rally. So, tell us kind of the plan. So, we're a couple months out from that. What's on tap for Sara Price the next couple of months to, to prepare for this rally?
Well, the biggest thing was shipping our car over there because Kawasaki gave us the car here in California. So we shipped that. It's on its way. We're going to go to Morocco a little bit early to work on the car since we still have some things to do to it over there. But other than that, we started doing all our navigation training. We have, other competitors like the Total Chaos team that's going to go with us. And it's really cool to meet such amazing ladies, and we're all doing the same thing and trying to learn this navigation. And so we're just pretty much training and putting our heads down to do that. And we're going to be going to Glamis, to Ocotillo, to train and do all that, as well as, preparation and learning how to be simple. We can't overpack because we got to carry everything on our car at the race. And then learning how to pen it and rough it, because pretty much that's what we're going to be doing for 9 days straight.
Yeah, it's I know talking with Emmy. It's even getting very little cell service or being able to use the internet. Because I think at some point, don't they even take phones away or something like that from you guys? It's it's pretty extreme.
Yeah, it's crazy. At the beginning of the rally, they actually take away our phones and they give it back to us after the 9 days because they don't want anyone cheating or using any sort of like Wi-Fi or GPS. So, yeah, they take away all electronics, like every single one of them, and then we only get to use just a regular camera, or our cars are equipped with a tracker as well. So if we got lost or if we needed help or something, but yeah, it's pretty intense. It's and we only have a designated email when we come into sleep at night to use. So.
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely changing it up. I think it's interesting, because motorsports nowadays, it's all about social media and, hey, I'm doing this, hey, I'm doing that. And, Gazelles is totally the opposite. They're like, no, you're not going to get to do any of that.
Yeah, no. Well, we have a media team that's going to be going with us. We have the U.S. Gazelles, and every night they're going to do a daily update on our progress or what's going on that day. And so the internet will be really cool to update everyone to keep tabs on us while we're over there tackling this crazy adventure. But it's going to be a fun time, and I can't wait. And there seems like there's just only things but amazing women in this race.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to follow along, and anybody that possibly wants to get involved, with your crowdfunding campaign, what's the best place they can go and find out more information on that?
Yeah. So the crowdfunding campaign is www.darkhorseco.com/campaign/88. And then you can also follow our Terrcross Girls page on Facebook that explains, and we'll have all our updates as we do this rally as well. And then you also have my athlete page for the motocross side of things, which is just Sara Price on everything.
Awesome. Well, I know you are a busy girl getting ready for Gazelles, but I want to wish you the best of luck, and I think definitely keep me in the loop. You've got all my contact info, and I think once you get back, we definitely need to have you back on again and and talk about the experience.
Yeah, definitely. I know I'm going to have some good stories, so.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure. I can't wait to hear them. But I appreciate you for taking the time to call in today, and best of luck, Sara.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Sara. Take it easy.
All right, bye.
All right, that was Sara Price, professional female motocross racer. She's a UTV racer. Now heading to Gazelles Rally in Morocco. It's gonna be epic. Gazelles Rally. It's legit. Absolutely legit. To go and do that. It's female version of the Dakar. It's wild. And it takes a lot of dedication to make that happen. And first U.S. women's team to ever try and conquer it in a UTV. So. That's pretty huge on her part. So, good luck to her in the Gazelles Rally. We'll definitely keep tabs on that as they get closer. We'll also, we'll also have full coverage of that, more and more news as it comes out. But Gazelles Rally coming up, and looking forward to cheering on the American contingent, just like we do at Robbie Gordon in the Dakar Rally. True international field there, and French normally do pretty solid there, but here's hoping the American team can knock them off that podium. Love to see an American take top 5 or top 3 even. I think would be pretty exciting. So that was Sara Price. This is Jim Beaver. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, if you didn't know. And it's been great talking with her. And later on in the show, we got Brent Lee calling in just a few minutes. We're going to be talking some stage rally. We got Ami Houde later on in the show talking some Supercross, San Felipe results. We got World Rally Championship. We got some Winter X Games. Lots to come here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. If you got any questions for us, at JimBeaver15 on Twitter, hit me up. Let me hear them. Looking forward to catching up with you guys again after the break. So stay tuned to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, lit up by Rigid Industries, schooled by DirtFish Rally School, and anywhere is possible with General Tire.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States, Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com. DirtFish Rally School is the premier rally driving school on the West Coast, located in Snoqualmie, Washington. If you're looking for a ton of fun with world-class driving instructors honing your skills, DirtFish is the place for you. DirtFish has 315 acres of playground with mixed surfaces for your driving experience. You can spend anywhere from 2 hours to 3 intense days of instruction refining your driving and racing skills. Whether you are looking for credits towards your Rally America license, honing your racing skills, or just having a fun time, DirtFish is your school. Your classroom is behind wheel of a 300 horsepower rally-prepped Subaru STI. These cars have protective cages, suspension modifications, and are built for one purpose: to push you to your limit. By the end of your time at DirtFish, you will have the confidence to rally with the best. Whether you're looking for a thrilling first-time rally experience or to increase your knowledge and time in the driver's seat, DirtFish has a driving experience to suit your needs. For any information on their classes, corporate events, or their facility, check them out on the web at www.dirtfish.com or on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at DirtFish Rally.
Okay, when you're on the job, you're making tough decisions around the clock. Well, here's an easy one. Ford F-Series. Under the hood, F-Series trucks have the power and fuel efficiency you need. Translation? You can always tackle the toughest jobs without losing a fortune at the pumps. But it's not just all brawn and no brains. F-Series trucks also have a cutting-edge selection of smart technology that keeps you connected, focused, and informed, all while behind the wheel. That's why, on average, every 42 seconds, someone forks over their hard-earned cash to get a new F-150 or Super Duty. No wonder they're the best-selling brand of trucks in America for 37 years in a row. The competition never stood a chance. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty. #1 for 37 years straight. Not convinced? Get behind the wheel of an F-150 or Super Duty and decide for yourself. Go online to your local FordDealers.com, then visit your Arizona Ford dealer for a test drive today. Based on U.S. sales from October 2012 through October 2013.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, lit up by Rigid Industries, schooled by DirtFish Rally School, and anywhere as possible with General Tire. I'm your host, Jim Beaver. Just got done with Sara Price, bar banger Sara Price, female motocross star and X Games medalist, moving into the world of roll cages, racing a UTV last year in select events, all over the Southwest, and now she's moving on to bigger and better things, and that is the Gazelles Rally in Morocco. Great catching up with Sara Price. It was a long time coming, and now that she's part of the Down and Dirty Radio Show family, I guarantee you we're going to hear a lot more of her and keep updated and tabs on what she's got going. But up next is my good friend Brent Lee, stage rally driver in a Ford Fiesta R2. Looking forward to catching up with him, and I think he's got some big news for 2015. I know coming off some awesome news in 2014, so it should be Great catching up with him. It's been quite a while since we've had Brent on air. And as always, if you got questions for Brent, tweet me at JimBeaver15 on Twitter, and we will definitely get those questions brought into the show. We've already got a few questions coming in as we speak, so we'll definitely get those asked. But I want to welcome Brent Lee to the air. How's everything going, my friend?
Doing well. How about yourself, Jim?
I am doing good, buddy. I guess I'm going to hit you right out of the box before we get into this interview. But a good friend of mine, Mike Shaw, over there at Open Paddock, they've got a podcast that covers rally and Indy cars and a lot of things. But he goes, I got a question. He's like, you got to ask him if he got the damn ECU fixed on his R2 Fiesta.
Yeah, I actually know Mike, a little bit. And actually, yes, I did. The ECU is fixed. And as of right now, it's running top notch. Couldn't be happier with the R2 right now. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it seems
as you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like when that car is on and it's dialed, I mean, you're pretty much unstoppable, right?
Yeah, like I said, when that car is on fire, it's pretty nuts. For a front-wheel drive car that's naturally aspirated, that thing is a little beast. It is, SADEV transmission, AP racing brakes. It is a little rocket ship, really, for what it is.
Yeah, well, and those R2s, I mean, geez, you go back and, ACP's had a lot of success in Rally America with them, this past year. I know, we had, Rhiannon's brother, Brennan, Reeves, he was taking top threes, I think, put one in the top three overall. So, I mean, the platform is amazing, I can totally understand why you went with that. It's such a great platform, especially for the cost.
Totally agree. Like, Brendo actually mentored me for a little bit. And I learned so much from him, and he was telling me all the little kind of fine tuning, on the suspension and just little things that just make that car, pretty unstoppable. And like you said, ACP, he has the Ford Fiesta ST, and he did quite well as well. So obviously, the Ford platform is actually really dominant.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's talk a little bit on you. I'm trying to think back. I know I ran into you, I believe, at SEMA. We run into each other off and on. I was out at one of the Southwest Rally Series events doing a little MC work, and you were out there at Desert Storm. But, to kind of recap 2014, I know you got a big honor here to cap off 2014 and then kind of take us into 2015.
Yeah, 2014 went actually quite well. Really happy. I actually won the Bilstein Madonna Award. And a little bit about that, actually, it came over from Europe in the 1970s, and it was given to different kinds of disciplines of motorsports, like NASCAR, legend cars, off-road, and rally. And I'm actually really honored to receive this award from Bilstein, because some of the drivers like Bill Elliott, Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt, Ivan Ironman Stewart have actually won this award. And those are all drivers that I actually really looked up to in racing. So that was really cool. And I actually got this award by winning the Bilstein Cup Championship in the Southwestern Series. And actually, you get it by using the Bilstein product throughout the season. So I really got to give it up for Bilstein for supporting rally.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like, we'll talk, a lot on stage rally in the United States, but Bilstein, they there's a few companies that have really dedicated themselves to supporting the sport, and I think Bilstein definitely one of them.
Yeah, 100%.
So, that award, it's just absolutely, awesome, capped off last year, heading into 2015, what are the plans for you? Because I know you concentrated a lot on the Southwest Rally Series last year. You also did, I believe, a couple of Rally America rounds. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, I did Oregon Trail Rally. That was really fun. That's actually a 3-day rally. That's actually really fun. The first day you actually start at the Portland, Oregon International Raceway, and then you kind of work your way throughout Oregon, and it's a really fun rally. It's a little bit of everything, really fast, kind of some tight stuff. It's a pretty brutal rally. It's fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, for 2015, actually, on February 21st, there's actually a California Rally Series school going on. And actually, feel free to check out crsrallyschool.com. I'm actually going to be one of the instructors there. And on Sunday, there's going to be a rallycross. So that's kind of cool.
Nice. Shaking things up a bit.
Yeah, that's going to kind of be in Ridgecrest. And I'm actually going to be doing the Southwest Rally Cup Series Mid 400 car display that I usually do for the last 2 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, feel free to come by and say hi. And all you fans out there, come by, check out some rally cars. And actually plan on going to here to Team O'Neill's Rally School for a tune-up here in a little bit and kind of do a little bit of all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive cars, just to kind of switch it up for me, just for, like, the timing. Because just jumping into all different kind of cars for me, it changes the game. So it just kind of get a nice little tune-up. Tim's actually been my mentor, so I've learned everything I know from driving through him. So can't knock that. So, yeah, I'm actually going to be doing the Bilstein Southwest Rally Cup Series, actually hoping to qualify for the U.S. Rally Association National Championship, and I really want to go for that two-wheel drive championship.
Yeah, well, and what do you know, I know some of the people involved with the USRA, and I know, they've got some legit people involved with it. I mean, how are you feeling about that for 2015 as far as the series goes? Because I know, news dropped, was it into last year? And, there hadn't been a lot of news breaks since then. I mean, they've had a few big announcements, but we really don't have a feel for how it's going to run yet. I mean, what are your feelings on it?
I think it's actually going to be quite well. As of right now, there's really no schedule out. But as of right now, I know Mad Media is kind of into it, and I know some really heavy hitters are really into that. So it looks really interesting. And, my manager and my sponsors are behind me 100%. And I know the National Series might not be this year. You might have to qualify for this year to go into it next year. So that was kind of one of the obligations that I think I've been hearing. That's a rumor. So, as of now. But actually, this 2015 season, my co-driver is actually going to be John Dillon for the Bilstein Southwestern Rally Cup Series. And actually, he's been co-driving for 20 years. So every time he's in the car with me, I learn something new. So it's awesome to have him, and really looking forward to working with him since, communication in rally is really big. It's almost, a game breaker.
Yeah, for sure. So, talking about that, I know, obviously, you're going to run the Southwest Series, you said. Any chance we see some of these West Coast events, maybe Oregon Trail, Olympus, go up and run some Rally America?
Definitely. That is definitely, on my radar. As of right now, I'm not. But, if I had it my way, I'd do everything. But, that's not the case. But But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to do some West Coast stuff. I'm going to see how the season pans out, see how it goes. But yeah, like I said, congratulations on Rally America for getting the announcement. That's really cool. I'm really excited for you on that. That's a big deal, and I think it's really going to help the sport out a lot.
Well, I appreciate.
Can you kind of tell me more what you're going to be doing? Are you going to be kind of interviewing drivers, kind of play-by-play what's going on?
Yeah, so, and I know it's funny you ask that because I've had a ton of people ask, how's the format going to be and this and that. And, I can tell you that, Bill Fogg and I, we've been talking for like a year as far as that goes. And, so I think it's going to be cool. I mean, I think the first race, we're going to kind of get a feel for things. I think really when we get to 100 Acre Wood, things are going to kick into high gear. But, I think, nice. What we're going to do is we'll have a fully produced, like a 1 hour show after every day. Pretty much recaps the day's events. But throughout the day, I'm going to be uploading, I'll be doing like quick 10, 15-minute live, in between stages and stuff. I'll be walking around with a mic, and we'll be live, as this goes, and I'll be interviewing drivers and people within the teams and stuff like that, and kind of giving, updates on standings, rankings, times, things like that, throughout the day. So it'll be a lot of quick 10, 15-minute, mini shows, and then we'll have one big recap show at the end of the day. And I know we've talked about at 100 Acre Wood when we've got a little, we'll have a month between now and then, possibly doing some live video stream online of interviews and stuff. So lots of cool stuff we're talking about. It just takes a while to implement. So people that are listening, hopefully, cut me a little slack at Snowdrift. We're going to do a great job, but cut me some slack. And then when we get on to the next one, we'll really roll things out. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be cool.
Nice, yeah. On Snowdrift, I actually done that event, and it's really fun, and it's crazy. It's ice, and none of the cars are using any studs. So it's really impressive on what those cars can do with just normal snow tires and ice tires.
Yeah, it was funny.
And,
what's that?
Oh, yeah, and if you get the chance, feel free to check out, you probably heard of it. It's called Bonfire Alley.
Yeah.
It is crazy. People are having bonfires, hanging out, actually watching rally in 0-degree weather. So it's pretty cool. The locals are actually really cool, really knowledgeable. You know, you can ask them questions. You know, they're really into it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm Bonfire Alley. I know last year from the Rally America TV, it looked pretty crazy. But it's that race. I know, like I was up at Ken Block's in December, and he had his roller, you know what I mean, that they use for the tires, and with all the nails in it and everything else. I mean, it's just crazy what they put these cars through to try and get traction on the ice.
Yeah, they did tractionize them. It literally eats them up so they get really soft and gummy. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
like you said, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah. Well, talking about
feel free to.
What's
Feel
that?
free to bring your long johns. It's going to get cold out there. Bring your thermal underwear.
Yeah, for sure. I've been warned. So I want to ask you again though. Adidas Motorsports 2015. I heard an announcement about you teaming up with the Adidas Motorsports.
Yeah, definitely. Really can't say too much about that. That's still in the process with my manager and my team. So I really can't give you too much scoop on that. That's in the works. But yeah, maybe feel free later on in the year. Let me know. I can do another show with you and kind of talk a little bit more about that.
Okay, so just a little teaser there you're throwing at us, right?
Yep, just a little teaser.
All right, and before we let you go, I got to ask though. I know a couple, not this year, but the year before. I know you ran a GRC light car there in Vegas for the finale. Still any chance we see you in a lights car at some point this year? Is it something you'd love to do again?
Yes, totally. The Oldsburg team, really phenomenal, really likes them. The lights car, like I said, amazing platform. A little bit like my R2, obviously it's all-wheel drive, naturally aspirated, state-of transmission. Still working on it. I got the news that they're actually going to be doing a 30-minute TV segment on it. Really excited about that. Haven't given up on that yet. But yeah, really got to think. Actually, I'll throw it out there. My mechanic that actually worked on my lights car, Aldo, really helped out, and actually met him in the TV show. So this one goes out to Aldo. Yeah,
for sure. Well, and talking about you and the stage rally program, obviously, you've had the R2 for a couple of years. I mean, any chance we see you maybe hop over in an all-wheel drive car, maybe do some super production or,
You know what? Yeah, it's kind of funny you asked that. Actually, Ford is actually, I don't know if you know, February 3rd, this is all rumors, obviously. They're actually coming out with the Focus RS.
Yeah.
So it actually has a 2.3-liter turbocharged EcoBoost engine, 4-cylinder, and it's claiming to put out 325 to 350 horsepower, 6-speed manual. And that, to me, I think would be a really good super production car. So, you know what, in the future, it's looking promising. And, I haven't quite mastered two-wheel drive yet, but I think once I do and I feel really comfortable, I'd love to go to an all-wheel drive platform.
Yeah, and I know that there's a lot of people salivating over that RS because it's been one of those. I mean, those of us familiar with rally, I mean, we've seen that thing in Europe for years, and it's like we want one in the States. And I think Ken Block was one of two people that had one in the States for a while, and and his I guess got went away. I think Ford took it back, but. I'm so excited that car. Just one for the one because I want to drive one on the street, but two, I think it's going to make an amazing rally car.
Totally. I totally agree 100%. It's going to give a lot of the other manufacturers, I think, a run for their money.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So where can people catch up with more information on Brent Lee and keep up tabs on what you're doing this year?
Yeah, totally want to thank my sponsors, Ford, Stilo, Cobra Seats, Scroat Racing, Team O'Neill Rally School, HMS Motorsports. You can actually check me out on Brent Lee Motorsports. All my social media is there, kind of cool videos and pictures. And actually, we've been doing some live streaming. Feel free to go to Brent Lee Live on Ustream. Some of the events, or almost all the events, we're actually going to be live streaming in car, out of the car. So feel free to, keep tabs on me on social media, and I'll let you know when I'll be doing that.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Let me know when you're going to be live streaming. We'll definitely put the word out for you, and looking forward to it. And we'll definitely have to catch up soon. After you get a race or two under your belt this season, and see how things are going.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Jim. You guys are awesome. you put on a great show. I really greatly appreciate it for having me. Seeing you at SEMA and all the events. I'll definitely catch you at a race here shortly.
All right. Sounds good, my friend. Take it easy, Brent.
Talk to you later, Jim. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Yeah, that was stage rally racer Brent Lee. Drives a Ford R2 Fiesta. In some Rally America and some Southwest Rally Series. Good dude. Out at a lot of events. I've got to know him pretty well over the past couple of years. And he always kid can flat drive a rally car. Let's just put it that way. Looking forward to seeing him possibly make that move up to super production. And like I said before, he's raced a GRC Lights car a couple of years ago in Vegas at the finale there. So always good things coming for Brent Lee. Represents his sponsors well and does his thing. And one of the great personalities in the sport of stage rally here in the United States. Always fun to catch up with Brent. So. Speaking of stage rally, I guess this would be a good time for our DirtFish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. You can find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited. DirtFish Rally, once again, back as a partner of mine for 2015. You'll see their logos on the number 15 trophy truck, probably my Terrcross Razor. And we'll be doing a lot of projects with them, airing live from up there in Snoqualmie, Washington. But they've set me up with a discount code this year for DirtFish Rally School, a 10% off discount code. So any of you that want to go up to DirtFish Rally School, definitely want to hit me with a tweet, email, private message me. I can get you hooked up for 10% off a class, which could be $300-$400 if you're going for a 3-day. So you definitely want to hit me up. I'll be giving that code out periodically on air throughout the year. If you want to go to DirtFish Rally School, hit me up. I've got a code. I can save you some money. So super stoked that DirtFish Rally School set me up with that this year, and I'm looking forward to passing on some savings to you guys. And who knows? I'll have to dial in with them when I'm going to be up there this year, and maybe I'll invite all you fans out. Anybody that wants to go to rally school, maybe we can do a day or do a 3-day where the fans come out and you can actually take class with me for 3 days. I think that would be kind of cool, get some fans up there and driving rally cars with me and my friends that are instructors up there, and Winston and Andrew and all the boys up there, they're instructors. I think that'd be kind of cool. So maybe we'll do like a fan 3-day up there or something when I'm going to rally school. I don't know if you guys are interested. Let me know. But we got the discount code. Save you some money. Hit me up if you want it. I'll be giving it out on air periodically. I think that'd be kind of cool. I'll have to dial in a day and see if we can get some of you fans up there to go to rally school with me. I think that'd be kind of cool. I'm kind of scared. You guys probably drive better than I do, but go figure, right? But we are in the DirtFish Rally Report, and I got to tell you right now, kicking off the World Rally Championship season there in Monte Carlo, one of the biggest, baddest rallies of the year, one of my favorites. It's a tarmac rally, so changing things up a bit. And, anything in Monte Carlo is always big and huge. And, Formula One, World Rally Championship, this is one of the oldest rallies in the world there in Monte Carlo. It's just anything with that city as a backdrop. It's so big. I mean, that city is so elegant and so rich. And, not only in monetary value, but with heritage, and especially as far as motorsports is concerned. Such a small country with such a big footprint as far as the world of motorsports goes. You see the Formula One races, you see the cars going by, you see the yachts in the harbor, and then with the World Rally Championship round, you get these guys up in the mountains, driving through these icy roads, and it's just a tremendous event, whether it be Formula One, World Rally Championship, and it's been been the kickoff to to the World Rally Championship for years now, and it's such a big event. You guys got you have guys like Sebastian Loeb, who at this point in his career is just doing one-offs here and there, but he makes it a point to compete at this rally. So things kicking off up there, and I got to tell you, much as it was last year, you're looking at your 1 and 2. We've got Sebastian Ogier and Jari-Matti Latvala 1 and 2. So. It's I don't know. It's kind of flashback to 2014 for the most part, right? But Andreas Mikkelsen at third, Volkswagens 1, 2, 3. We got Osberg, Neuville, Sordo, Evans, Loeb in eighth. Little troubles for Sebastian. About 9 minutes off the pace. 8.5, 9 minutes off the pace. Prokop in ninth, Meek in 10th. We got Henning Solberg doing some WRC there in 11th. We'll skip down here. Your WRC 2 winner was Lefebvre. I'm going to butcher that. I'm sorry. I'm going to get called out on that one. But some of these names, I'm telling you, I need to. I don't know. I need to go to school on how to pronounce these foreign names for the most part. But he was your WRC 2 winner. But yeah, just skipping through here, this is one rally that I'd love to see Ken Block do. I think Ken could do solid in this. You always see Ken doing, the gravel rallies for the most part when he goes and does his WRC events. I would love to see Ken Block at Monte Carlo. 1, Ken Block in Monte Carlo. It's awesome. 2, it's on tarmac. This would be a fun, this would be a fun rally to see Ken Block do, I think. Just the mix and everything else. The beginning of the year probably doesn't conflict with many of his obligations. This would be a fun rally to see Ken do. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I'm dreaming here, but yeah, it's it's solid. But always good to see Loeb back in a car. Always a threat to win any event he's in and anything. I don't care if it's lawnmower racing. You put Sebastian Loeb in it, and the dude's going to go off. It's I just love Loeb. I mean, the guy. I'd love to see him. Branch out. He did a one-off in Global Rallycross a couple of years ago. Remember, goes to the X Games and dominates. And would love to see. Would love to see him, back full time in something. I know he's done a lot of road racing there in Europe. Obviously, Attack Pikes Peak, demolished that. Did give Sebastian, the other Sebastian, a run for his money. But it was just a tough go for him. About midway through. But it's just a great event there in Monte Carlo to kick everything off. Always looking forward to that kickoff in Monte Carlo. Always looking forward to the Formula One race in Monte Carlo. It's just went, just something about it that raises the bar for motorsports. It's just that type of place. It's like Indianapolis, or Daytona. You run an event at Daytona, you run an event in Indianapolis, it immediately becomes a marquee event. It doesn't matter what it is. And Monte Carlo is that in Europe. It's just is. It doesn't matter. Supercross, the one to win at Daytona. You got the 24 Hours of Daytona. It's a big one. The Daytona 500. It's a big one. I mean, heck, even the GRC race they ran down there, everybody wanted it because it was Daytona. You go to Indy and it doesn't matter what it is. It becomes the one you want, whether it's the Brickyard, whether it's, the Indy 500, the road race at Indy. You want to say you won Indy, whether it be the big one, the small one, or anything in between. You just want to say you won at Indy. I mean, even NHRA, for that matter. Here we are talking drag racing on this show. You never thought that had happened. But the race they have in India is one of the big ones. And Monte Carlo, it is what it is, man. It's that event in Europe. You just want to say you won Monte Carlo. So, congratulations goes out to Sebastian on the big win. Latvala in second, Mikkelsen third. Big news to me this year is anybody going to catch Volkswagen? Volkswagen obviously, they dominated last year, and it looks like they're on their way after one round to do it again this year. You hope at some point somebody can make a go at it and give them a run for their money. Me personally, I'd love to see Ford throw some factory dollars back at WRC. Obviously, M Sport representing the Ford brand, but you'd love to see Ford throw the factory dollars back and say, you know what, we're tired of this. Let's go. Let's make this a game. We want to win some championships again. Because at this point, Ford's not really invested in it, and hire some. Not that it's bad drivers for Ford, but I mean, go and get some. Bring in some marquee drivers and make it happen. I mean, Ford such a huge heritage in in WRC. It's to me, it sucks to see this. I remember back the days I first became a WRC fan, and you had McRae and Burns, you had Ford, you had Subaru, you had the Peugeots involved. At that point, Skoda was involved. I can't remember. I know Mitsubishi was involved. I guess Derek Dauncey, principal over there at Hoonigan, he was involved with Mitsubishi at that point in time. But, we had so many manufacturers in WRC and now, and I know I'm missing some, obviously Citroen, you can go down the list. I mean, but, it stinks to see. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what WRC needs to do. Obviously, the WRC Plus they're doing is great. They've got some TV here in the United States. I don't know if it's just the cost to run the series. Just escalated like Formula One. They're not doing that many. I say international events. Obviously, the entire championship's international, but they're not doing the many overseas events. Got a handful, but nothing like it used to be where, half the series was in South America and Africa and, Kenya and places like that. It's, I don't know the fix. I don't know the fix for WRC. Obviously still some tremendous racing. It's a tremendous platform to prove your product. It's got some of the greatest drivers in the world. It's just, I don't know, man. It's tough. Obviously, Rallycross, both in Europe and in the United States with WRX and GRC, I think that's taken away from it. Got a lot of guys like Petter Solberg. Petter could still wheel a WRC car, but he's not. He's sticking with Rallycross, and he's loving life. I think obviously it gives him more time with his family as well. You can just show up and drive and win championships and world championships for that matter. But, it's just WRC is at an interesting crossroads. It has been for a couple of years. It's going to be interesting to see the way things move. What was it, a year or two ago? I remember Red Bull made this big announcement. They were going to be in charge of the media for WRC and made this big announcement. And everybody's like, oh, great, Red Bull's involved. Things are going to go through the roof, and Red Bull's going to escalate everything like they do. And nothing really happened. I don't even know if Red Bull's involved at this point. Somebody, correct me if I'm wrong, but they may be, but we never saw the escalation like it is when Red Bull usually gets involved. I don't know. It's like everybody's waiting, and it's kind of the same thing year after year. I don't know, but it is what it is. I want your opinions at JimBeaver15 on Twitter. Hit me with your questions. Let me know, and I want to know your thoughts on WRC. What do they need to do to blow this thing up? Obviously, we all know we'd love to see a WRC round in the United States. Whether it ever happens, I have no idea. But, maybe WRC Mexico is as close as we can get. And, that's one of their biggest events of the year. So go figure. But, I want to know your opinions at JimBeaver15 on Twitter. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor. And we'll be back after this commercial break. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
Okay, when you're on the job, you're making tough decisions around the clock. Well, here's an easy one. Ford F-Series. Under the hood, F-Series trucks have the power and fuel efficiency you need. Translation? You can always tackle the toughest jobs without losing a fortune at the pumps. But it's not just all brawn and no brains. F-Series trucks also have a cutting-edge selection of smart technology that keeps you connected, focused, and informed, all while behind the wheel. That's why, on average, every 42 seconds, someone forks over their hard-earned cash to get a new F-150 or Super Duty. No wonder they're the best-selling brand of trucks in America for 37 years in a row. The competition never stood a chance. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty. #1 for 37 years straight. Not convinced? Get behind the wheel of an F-150 or Super Duty and decide for yourself. Go online to your local FordDealers.com, then visit your Arizona Ford dealer for a test drive today. Based on U.S. sales from October 2012 through October 2013.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
DirtFish Rally School is the premier rally driving school on the West Coast, located in Snoqualmie, Washington. If you are looking for a ton of fun with world-class driving instructors honing your skills, DirtFish is the place for you. DirtFish has 315 acres of playground with mixed surfaces for your driving experience. You can spend anywhere from 2 hours to 3 intense days of instruction refining your driving and racing skills. Whether you are looking for credits towards your Rally America license, honing your racing skills, or just having a fun time, DirtFish is your school. Your classroom is behind wheel of a 300 horsepower rally-prepped Subaru STI. These cars have protective cages, suspension modifications, and are built for one purpose: to push you to your limit. By the end of your time at DirtFish, you will have the confidence to rally with the best. Whether you're looking for a thrilling first-time rally experience or to increase your knowledge and time in the driver's seat, DirtFish has a driving experience to suit your needs. For any information on their classes, corporate events, or their facility, check them out on the web at www.dirtfish.com or on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at DirtFish Rally.
Looking to upgrade the brake system on your race car, pre-runner, or weekend toy? Jmar Performance Brake Systems has you covered. An industry leader in performance braking systems, Jmar can outfit your vehicle with the highest quality American-made calipers, rotors, master cylinders, hubs, turning brakes, and shifters for Volkswagens to trophy trucks and everything in between. For more information and their full product line, visit Jmar on the web at jmarperformance.com or follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Jmar Brakes. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, lit up by Rigid Industries, schooled by DirtFish Rally School, and anywhere is possible with General Tire. So, we had some WRC over the weekend. We also had some Winter X Games, some San Felipe 250, and obviously some Supercross. We'll get into that later on in the show. But right now, we're going to skip over to some X Games results. And I got to tell you, I got a bone to pick with X Games, with their Twitter with whoever handles their Twitter account, but, always had a good relationship with the people over there at X Games. But, rubbed me a little wrong last week. They put out a big deal, trying to promote Tucker Hibbert and career wins and going for, career, I believe it was career win number 100. Big deal, and Tucker, and put out a list. Richard Petty was on it. They had John Force on it. Had Ricky Carmichael on it. Obviously, Tucker was on it, and talking about all these guys with the most wins in history, of motorsports. All right, all in good. It's diverse. Had a drag racer, had NASCAR. You had all these guys, legit amount of wins, but they left two guys off of the list. Seriously, Rob McCachran, over 200 career victories, both in desert short course, off-road desert racing, and he took a win in the Craftsman Truck Series way back in the beginning of NASCAR. Seriously, you leave Rob Mack off the list. How many, he's been Automotive Writers Association first, what do they call it, on the first team, along with John Force and all these others, like probably a ridiculous number of times, like 7, 8, 9 times by the Auto Racing Writers Association in the United States. You leave him off the list, and Carl Renesetter, 115 career victories just in short course. That's not talking desert racing. He's got an illustrious career with Baja 1000 wins and everything else in desert racing. Just in short course, he's got 115 wins, and you leave him off the list? I mean, that's a foul, X Games. Absolute party foul. You need to rewrite the list. Those two dudes, they deserve the respect. They need to be on the list. I'm sorry, but there's just something wrong with this picture. You want to even go deeper. Jerry Welchel, the guy's got well over 200 career victories in off-road, everything from buggies to short course and everything else. I'm sure Robbie Gordon's up there above 100 wins if you count everything he's won. I don't know. I think it was a half-assed job on X Games' part by putting that list together. Absolutely half-assed. They just went with the biggest names they could think of and then threw Tucker Hibbert in the middle of it. They didn't really dig in deep to find out career victories. And I understand you just want to talk elite level. Ricky's probably got more than what they had on the list as far as career victories. That's fine. But McCachran and Renesetter, they have over 100 apiece. Rob over 200 at the elite level. It pissed me off. No love for the dirt sports in that one. Absolutely no love. It was pretty lame. Absolutely pretty lame there. And, the guys deserve a little bit more respect than they got. If you're going to put together a legit list, make sure you do your homework before you do, because those guys deserve to be on it. But rant over. Now we'll get to some X Games coverage. Winter X going down. It was another good one. Got to give a shout out. We're not going to go through all the snowboarding results and all that, because we don't do that on the show. But off-road driver Nick Baumgartner took home a 4th, just outside of the medals in snowboard cross. It's basically racing on a snowboard. So big shout out to Nick Baumgartner. Hopefully we see him racing some Torque, some Stadium Super Trucks later on this year. I know he's done Vegas to Reno in the past, so he's a dirt head. He likes it dirty. But big shout out to him. Just barely missing out on that bronze medal spot. But always a force there, 2-time Olympian, and Nick, just a damn good guy, man. One of those guys you want to go and talk to at the track. If you're ever at a short course race, Nick is definitely all kinds of fun. So good guy, and we need to get him back on air sometime. It's been a while, probably well over a year, maybe 2 years since we've had him. But it was good. Could have been better for Nick Baumgartner, but 4th, all things considered, not too shabby for him. Moving on to some snowmobile long jump results. Levi LaValle getting hurt, having to withdraw from competition, but your winner, Heath Frisbee, Corey Davis, Colton Moore taking home that bronze medal in long jump for snowmobile. Looking at some speed and style for snowmobiles. Had Colton Moore with a gold, Joe Parsons 2nd, Corey Davis in 3rd, Levi LaValle in 4th, but not being able to continue on, getting knocked out in speed and style. Moving on, even more results from the snowmobile side of things, and looks like we've got, let's see here, Hillcross, that's what we were looking for. Hillcross results, Ryan Simmons, Justin Thomas, and Nathan Titus. That was your 1, 2, 3 in Hillcross, one of my favorite events. Super stoked they brought that back to X Games. Always always exciting. And moving on to Hillcross, we got Hillcross, and yeah, I'm sitting here talking through the results. You guys are probably like, what the hell is he doing here? I'm just skipping through these results, these pages I've got in front of me. Snowcross Adapted, this is always fun. This is for guys with, that have had, basically prosthetics or this or that. But Garrett Goodwin taking home the gold in that. Doug Henry, big name, taking home the silver, and Jimmy Wozni in third. So congrats goes out to those guys, and props to X Games for still including those guys in X Games. Always look forward to that. And then the big one, Snowcross. Was Tucker going to do it? Was he going to do it? Was he going to do it? Yep, Tucker did it. Rose to the occasion by a full 20 seconds to second place. So dominating effort by Tucker Hibbert. The guy, just when you think maybe everybody else is caught up, he goes, nope, smack. Brings him back to reality. Tucker stamping his name atop the podium with a gold medal finish there at X Games. Cody Cam second, Ross Martin third. Good to see a couple of new names on the list. Obviously, Levi LaValle not competing. Like I said, he had to withdraw due to injuries to his ankles. Could barely stand up. So bummer for Levi LaValle, but that was Winter X Games. As always, I think snowmobile steal the show at X Games. Definitely do. I got to tell you, definitely a bummer. I think to me, the big gap there that people don't see is, everybody wants to see the freestyle back, and, because of Caleb Moore losing his life, I don't know that we're ever going to see it again. Definitely a bummer. I think it's missed. I understand why they do it. Maybe it's a nod to Caleb, but I think it's time to bring it back. Definitely think it's time to bring it back. Maybe not the big best trick, but I think it's time. It's time to bring it back. Still do it with the motorcycle side of things. I think it's time to bring it back for the snowmobile side. But that's just me. That's just me talking. Love to know what you guys think. At JimBeaver15 on Twitter. Let me know what you think. You want to see freestyle back in Winter X Games? I sure do. Let's see what you guys want. Moving on though. Another big event. Another big event of the weekend, the kickoff to desert racing season, SCORE San Felipe 250. They're moving the SCORE San Felipe from the traditional March spring break date to January, a couple of weeks before the Parker 425. I don't know if it was such a good decision or not, but decent entry field in trophy truck. But overall, I think the event was hurting for entries. I don't know if it helped what for San Felipe, but kind of in a tough spot with San Felipe, Move it to January, you're running up against Parker. Keep it in March, and you're fighting the Mint 400. Just a tough deal because two of Best in the Desert's biggest races are 1-2. So where do you slot San Felipe in? I don't know the answer to it. Truly don't know. I guess maybe late February, 3 weeks after Parker, and maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the Mint. I don't know. It's a tough call, 2 weeks before Parker, it's not bad. I think a lot of people enjoy San Felipe over spring break. You got to move it back closer to March. I guess if we really wanted to, throw it in April, and you'd probably have people out of the woodwork going to compete. But then you've got the new SCORE round down there in southern Baja. So I don't know. Definitely a tough call. But Gus Fedosla Jr., Tavo taking home the win in trophy truck and the overall. BJ Baldwin second, Clyde Stacy in third, Justin Davis, Jason McNeil. Nice seeing Jason McNeil sneak into that number 5 spot in his debut. Class 1, year 1, 2, 3 was Rob Archibald, Jim Anderson, George Peters. Got to say, only what do we had here? Well over a dozen entries, only 4 finishers. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 DNFs out of 13 entries. Tough one. It's, I don't know, I've never seen a class 1 DNF rate like that. Tough, none of the other classes reflect that, just class 1, weird. 1-2-1600, your winner was Jorge Sampietro, Jose David, Jose David in second, and Aaron Ampudia in third. The Ensenada locals sweeping the podium there in 1-2-1600. Victor Cessna, your Class 5 winner, 516, went to Carlos Riviera. Class 7 went to Carlos Martinez. James Berman in first place in Class 8. Mikey Lawrence took home the win in Class 10, and I got to say, looking at this, you got Mikey Lawrence in first, you got Mark Lawrence in first, I'm sorry, Mike Lawrence in fourth, Clay Lawrence in fifth. The Lawrences, man, dominating Class 10. Score Lights, Rafael Navarro took home the win. Trophy Truck Spec went to Larry Connor. Stock Full went to John Gonzalez. We had Paul Broughton in Class 3. Derek Fletcher in Sportsman Buggy. Sportsman Truck was Jorge Rivas. And Class 19, your UTVs, another stacked field. A lot of DNFs in this one, though. Big name DNF, Mark Burnett, your 2014 champ. He's sitting there on the sidelines, DNF, and, he was one I had pegged in that new Polaris to possibly go away with a win, maybe a few teething problems. You never know. But Class 1900, Scott McFarland taking the win. Johnny Engel in second, and Matt Parks in third. So Polaris sweeping the podium at San Felipe. Got to be a good weekend to be a Polaris racer. Colton Udall taking the motorcycle overall victory. Ruben Alamo also with a win. Tony Guerra with a win. Mark Winkleman with a win. Jeff Powell with a win in one of the motorcycle classes. Mark Prince, Francisco Vera. On the quads, we had Gabe Willitus in Sportsman taking the victory, and Sportsman Quad went to Juan Dominguez. So that is your SCORE San Felipe 250 results. Just another way to kick off desert racing season. Fast forward in 2 weeks, I guess less than 2 weeks now. We got the Best in the Desert Parker 425, and entries well over 200 for that. Going to be pushing 300 close to race time. So you desert racing fans, man, it's we're locked and loaded, and things are definitely getting close to really kicking things off. San Felipe, just a little taste, a little teaser of what's to come. Got more to come though, for sure. This year, shoot, we're firing on all 8. San Felipe, we got Parker. Then a couple weeks after that, the UTV World Championship. Then the Mint 400. Man, the next 2 months for you desert racing fans are packed. So good news is lots of places to get your live coverage. Race Desert teamed up with Best in the Desert for the Best in the Desert rounds. I know we'll be doing live radio there at the UTV Championship and the Mint 400. Saw that announcement by our friends at the Mint 400. That is right. We are the official radio show of the Mint 400. And it's they dropped some big news. Longer Mint 400 race course, 126 miles, 3 loops instead of 4. I kind of like that change, to be honest with you, from a driver standpoint. Improved spectating and parking. Everything's going to be run out of Prim instead of Night Ranch Road. Those of you that are familiar with the event, it's a good move. It's going to accommodate more fans. Downtown, it's going to be going off for 2 nights in a row instead of just 1. Television is doubled. Not only is Red Bull Signature Series back, they're also bringing back the documentary film that they also do. So there's going to be 4 hours of TV, not to mention reruns and re-airs, but 4 hours of TV. It's going to be pretty cool. Also, iTunes, Amazon Prime, Hulu, DVD. You're going to be able to catch this race just about everywhere. Contingency on Friday has been expanded, bigger parade, and then the Down and Dirty Radio Show increased coverage, Race Desert Radio powered by the Down and Dirty Radio Show, nonstop coverage of the entire Mint starting at 6 a.m. until midnight. So we're going to be airing live, not just me, I got to tell you, because I got to sit in a trophy truck at some point in time. But in the morning, I will definitely be on air doing some hosting. I know, a great lineup of hosts that we've got. Myself, we've got the legend Bob Bauer. A lot of you know him from TV. Scott Rain. A lot of you know him from the Torque series. Chad Ragland. Chad's done some TV and a lot of UTV stuff. So we got a we got a large team up of guys, and Chad and I will be alternating in one of the seats because both of us have to drive at different points during the day. So we're going to be hopping back and forth. But Bob and Scott will definitely hold it down here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show when Chad and myself aren't able to be on the mic. So looking forward to that. It's going to be cool, man. Lots and lots of cool stuff. That's going to be at the UTV World Championship and at the Mint 400. So hopefully we can expand that, do some more stuff, improve tracking, more online coverage, more social media coverage. So Mint 400, throwing it down for 2015. If you haven't been to that race, you definitely want to mark it on your calendar. You don't want to miss it. It's the one you want to be to live, but if you can't, looks like the boys there at Mad Media and Best in the Desert, they have you covered for those of you sitting at home. So looking forward to that event. Always stoked to be a participant in it, both on the race side and, in front of the camera. Always an awesome event. So, lots of news coming out for desert racing fans. So, San Felipe results. We got Park 425, Mid 400, UTV World Championship. Lots and lots of news coming up, or lots and lots of stuff coming up for you desert racing fans. So, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, my Supercross sidekick, Ami Houde, she is going to be calling in, and we're going to be dissecting Supercross from Oakland. So we'll be back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris Razor XP1000 in the Terrcross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Okay, when you're on the job, you're making tough decisions around the clock. Well, here's an easy one. Ford F-Series. Under the hood, F-Series trucks have the power and fuel efficiency you need. Translation? You can always tackle the toughest jobs without losing a fortune at the pumps. But it's not just all brawn and no brains. F-Series trucks also have a cutting-edge selection of smart technology that keeps you connected, focused, and informed, all while behind the wheel. That's why, on average, every 42 seconds, someone forks over their hard-earned cash to get a new F-150 or Super Duty. No wonder they're the best-selling brand of trucks in America for 37 years in a row. The competition never stood a chance. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty. #1 for 37 years straight. Not convinced? Get behind the wheel of an F-150 or Super Duty and decide for yourself. Go online to your local FordDealers.com, then visit your Arizona Ford dealer for a test drive today. Based on U.S. sales from October 2012 through October 2013.
Looking to upgrade the brake system on your race car, pre-runner, or weekend toy? J-Mart Performance Brake Systems has you covered. An industry leader in performance braking systems, J-Mart can outfit your vehicle with the highest quality American-made calipers, rotors, master cylinders, hubs, turning brakes, and shifters for Volkswagens to trophy trucks and everything in between. For more information and their full product line, visit Jmar on the web at jmarperformance.com or follow them on Instagram and Twitter at jmarbrakes. Did you know that Parker Motor Company is one of the best places to shop for new tires for your car or truck? With a full tire shop and advanced equipment, we can outfit your vehicle with over 13 brands of tires, including Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Yokohama, Falcon, and General. We offer a low price guarantee that will meet or beat any competitor's price. We'll check your alignment for free, and we also offer tire care for any road hazards you may come across. If you need new tires, Parker Motor Company is your only choice. Parker Motor Company, your hometown Ford and Lincoln dealer. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, lit up by Rigid Industries, schooled by DirtFish Rally School, and anywhere is possible with General Tire. And speaking of General Tire, they got their General Tire Dream Garage giveaway going on right now through the 15th of February. You definitely want to get in on that. They're giving away a custom Raptor, a 2015 Harley Davidson, an Iron Horse motorcycle trailer, $500 worth, or a 500-piece Carlisle tool set, and $30,000 to pay the taxes. And that's not individual prizes. That is one grand prize for this GT Dream Garage giveaway. So in the next month, if you need tires for your car, make sure they're General tires you buy, and get in on that special, man. It's buy a set of General tires. You may walk away with a brand new garage with a Raptor and a Harley and a trailer and everything that goes with it. So General Tire Dream Garage giveaway. If you did buy a set of General Tires already, or if you're going to, General Tire on their website, generaltire.com, they've got all the details on how to sign up for this. Also, Down and Dirty Radio Show right there on the front page. You got a big graphic running. You can click on that. It'll send you right over to the General Tire website. You can get in on it there as well. So, General Tire Dream Garage giveaway going down. Right now, though, we're getting ready to talk a little bit of Supercross, and my good friend Ami Houde is going to be calling in just a minute, and we're going to be breaking down all the action from Oakland. And I got to tell you, it was pretty wild in Oakland. I think everybody was starting to think that Kenny Roczen was pretty much invincible, and I got to tell you, he is far from invincible after what we saw. Good news is it looks like he is safe. But it was definitely a tough one, a tough weekend of racing for Ken Roczen. So looks like Amy is calling in. We're going to see if we can pick up my Supercross sidekick, Miss Ami Houde. How's it going, Amy?
Hey, how's it going? It's going good here.
Yeah. Well, the over under. What's the weather? What's the weather like up there?
Okay, under. That's colder, right?
Yeah, over, under.
Because it's actually beautiful outside. The snow is melting. We're actually in the plus degrees here. It's been a heat wave, let's call it. So wow. It's nice here for once.
We're above zero today. My goodness, man.
I know.
Yeah, time to go swimming, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I got to dig out the pool in my backyard.
Yeah. So I got to ask you before we get into talking to Supercross. I know you left us on air last Monday, and you made a little trip down there to hang out with your friends from First Form, right?
Yeah, I just got back from St. Louis. I love that city, and I had one crazy weekend. Those guys only go big or go home. We had a lot of fun. We all the athletes who won the athlete search got to all meet together and hang out and shoot some pictures and work out and take some helicopter rides, shoot some guns, ride dirt bikes. It was a killer weekend for sure.
Yeah, and tell us a lot of these. A lot of our listeners maybe not super familiar with First Form, but kind of explain the company, the brand, and how you got involved with them. And I know right now they've got another search going on, right?
Yeah, so First Form is a supplement company. They also own Supplement Superstores, which is an American a company that sells supplements
for us, for Canadians, it'd be in relation to a GNC or Popeyes. But they have Supplement Superstore, and First Form is their brand of supplements. So, someone actually just tagged me in a post they had posted on Instagram about a year ago already. They were looking for an athlete. They were holding an athlete search, looking for someone who was, a motivational and inspirational kind of athlete, somebody really different. I mean, they're inside the whole fitness world, so CrossFit, competing, bodybuilding, and they wanted to expand their athlete team and find someone new. And I'm like, whatever, I'm going to try this out. I'm poor. I need some money. Yeah. And I just told them a little bit about my story, and I made some videos and shared a little insight to my life and, why I work out and why fitness is a huge part of racing and living a healthy lifestyle and just keeping up to going 1,000,000 miles an hour that I always do. And, I won. And I won $10,000, and I got to be a part of the First Form family and be a brand ambassador for them. And then they chose 5 more people, and now we have a little team going, and they're actually adding 1 more person for a grand prize of $50,000. So, but these guys don't just choose the biggest, the toughest, the most ripped people. They're all about people who have overcome adversity, people with crazy stories of dedication and perseverance. The second athlete, a girl, Crystal Cantu, beautiful young woman, really strong and powerful. And when I found out that she won, and hearing her story, I'm like, holy shit! Like this girl is unbelievable, and she's a huge motivation to me now. She was in a car accident and actually lost her arm, and she still competes in CrossFit and is amazing at it. So it just kind of goes to show that no matter what life throws at you, with the right attitude and perseverance, like you can really do anything. And that's what this brand represents: is strong, independent, powerful people. And we have a really cool group. And you guys go check them out at First Form, their Instagram. And if you think you have what it takes to be the next winner of the athlete search, it's $50K extra in your pocket, but you can also represent a brand that is going to change the game for sure. So, and I really actually hope that they dive a little bit more into the action sports world. I'm going to help them grow their brand in motocross and maybe some other sports too. So we'll be seeing more of them for sure.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I saw the pictures and went, man, it looks like you guys had some fun. Like you said, you're in a helicopter, you're shooting guns.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's my type of weekend.
Yeah, like these guys go big. They're just a bunch of bearded, like rough and tough kind of looking guys with huge hearts and beautiful wives. They're just awesome. They started from the ground up. They slept in the back of their first store. Like they were almost going to call it quits and sell photocopy machines or something. Like, they just persevered, and now they're driving Lambos and flying us all around in helicopters and, really enjoying life. And it's kind of like, David and Goliath's story of just the underdog always perseveres with hard work. So it's really, really cool. They're awesome. So I can't wait to see who they choose for the $50,000 winner. They'll definitely be somebody special. So,
yeah. So
it's so cool.
So here's a question for you. So you're a First Form athlete. Obviously, you've been on board with them for, I believe, a year now. Is it something that continues on, or do you, do a 1-year term and then you're done? Or, are you, you're in the family now and you're, part of their team for now and forever, right?
Well, they're my brothers. Like, I can't leave now. Like,
yeah.
They're my family. These guys are my family. I feel like I got a bunch of brothers. I'm an only child, too, so it's kind of cool. But, no, I'm with them for life. They got me for life. They can't get rid of me now. Like, I ain't going anywhere. I'm, for people to see potential in you and bring you on board, like, I'm in this industry, it's really hard to find loyal people, loyal sponsors. Yeah. Like, I'm all about loyalty. Like, I've been with One Industries forever because they were one of the first gear brands that gave me an opportunity and a chance, and I want to stick with them for life. Like, they're part of my team and, part of my family. Like, my brands that I represent are my family, and I would go to the moon and back for them because they've done that for me. So.
Yeah, for sure. Very cool. So let's talk a little bit about Supercross. I got to tell you,
this was the craziest race.
Yeah, 250s, 450s, the whole deal was crazy. I didn't see any of it coming. And it was.
I know, like this was this was the weekend that screwed up everybody's fantasy Supercross, like, for sure.
So, it's like the 250s. It was funny because they're sitting there and they're going through, next week we're airing this feature piece on Tyler Bowers and Cooper Webb, how they're best friends and they train together. And then they get together, and Cooper on the podium, literally, I think we're lucky that Bowers got fourth and wasn't on the podium. So I think Cooper literally would have went after him. He was ready to go for the jugular, I think.
Oh, my gosh, that was crazy. But, I was replaying that. I don't think that was a very intentional kind of cutthroat move at all. Like, Cooper did come down. He was, trying to cut down really tight because Bell was on top there. And he cut down and kind of, hit Bowers. And Bowers just came in there like full charged bull that he is. And, he didn't even move when Cooper hit him. Like, he's just a tank. But it wasn't intentional. Like, that was kind of racing. And, Bowers had his elbows up, got Cooper in the neck there. And, I don't think that hit was intentional. And you could see Bowers shake his head there, too. I'm like, he's probably thinking, like, oh, no, here we go. I'm going to have to deal with this after now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I can understand how Cooper, his anger, because he crashed twice and finished second. If he never would have crashed, clearly he would have pulled away from everybody. But, that's probably $30,000 he just missed out from first to second, and a couple extra points in that chase for the championship. And these guys are hungry; they're going to be pissed and going to be mad, but it kind of adds a little bit of excitement. Not going to lie.
Yeah,
I don't mind watching that, but I don't think it was intentional. No, and hopefully that doesn't ruin their friendship, because it's kind of cool to see riders, like get along in the sport for once, because usually everyone is just out for cold blood.
Yeah, especially two guys that are at the top. And, I think I came to the same analysis you did. Cooper was pissed. He was immediately hot-headed. You could tell as soon as it happened, Bowers was like, holy crap, what just happened? But I'm hoping Cooper goes back, watches the tape, and goes, okay, it wasn't intentional. Let's just chalk it up to a racing incident.
Yeah, exactly. And, hopefully that happens. So I guess we'll see this weekend.
Yeah, but talk about the winner, Malcolm Stewart. Finally taking a pro Supercross victory. That's pretty big for him. 36 night shows, and it's his first podium. Like, perseverance, dedication, good on him. I'm so happy, and he was so happy and thankful, and it was kind of touching. It made me tear up a little bit when he said this win just isn't the same without his brother, and I'm like, oh my gosh, waterworks. But no, like, it's really cool, and that was really cool to see. And he's just a really humble, grateful kid, and he probably got a lot of respect and a lot of fans last night. So I applaud him, and great riding. He came out of the gate and he was just on fire from practice. So I expect some more first place finishes from him now. Maybe he kind of shook off those nerves, and hopefully we'll hit the ground less and make that more consistent. Yeah. Well, you talk about perseverance. Here's a guy, at the end of last year, he was spending money out of his own pocket to go riding and things like that. Finally, Honda took a gamble on him. Obviously, it's looking like it's paying off, but it's one of those things. You can't ever quit, because you never know when something's going to break.
He never had a ride till November.
Yeah.
You have 1 month to train before the first round of Supercross. Like, that must be some serious pressure. But sometimes pressure is the biggest fire under a rider. And I know for me personally, if I feel that pressure and the need to perform to prove to myself and the other people around me that I can do this, usually that's when I perform the best. Not when I know I kind of beat this person, but when, like, I got to show them what I got. I got to show them what I'm capable of. That's sometimes where we see the most hungry people, step up and show us what they're made of. So he really did that, and again, I applaud him. He did awesome.
Yeah. Well, talking about 450s, laying things down. Obviously, we're already missing. Villapoto went to other things. Stewart's out for the year because of whatever the heck they decided he did wrong. Dean, well, I don't know how to put it, because I just, at this point, it's whatever. I think he should be racing, but it's water under the bridge at this point. But Wilson's out now for the Supercross season. We've got Alessi, who's out. You've
Weston.
got Weston Pike. He's out. It's crazy. So going into this thing, everybody's like, oh well, this is going to be Roxon's deal. He's just going to blow everybody away. Now all these contenders are out. Now Roxon, that case was just painful to watch.
Crazy. Oh my gosh. He is so lucky he didn't walk away with broken wrists, but man, that suspension's working good. It's doing its job.
Well, immediately when he hit, I go, oh crap, he's out for the year. He broke his wrists. And you
could see it just like the wrists collapse. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, because I think he banged his head on the bars, and it was just it was bad news. And for him to get back up and battle through and come back with a 15th, that you want to talk about tough, man.
Yeah.
So
but that shows some heart. That shows he knows exactly how to play this game, where 1 point, 2 points can be the difference between a championship and second place. So he rode smart and got back on that bike to salvage any points that he can. And that was, that shows some serious knowledge in this whole game of how, the point system works. But like we were talking about last week, Dungey hasn't won a race yet, and now he has the red plate. He's playing it safe to make sure that he wins the championship. So he might be smarter than everybody else out there right now.
Yeah, the guy, and he's fast. Don't get me wrong. He's always there to take podiums in Supercross. You got to be fast. But yeah, and Kennard, I think you had mentioned, I don't know if it was last week or one of the weeks, you thought, he's one to watch. And what do you know? He broke through, and what is his first Supercross victory in like 3 or 4 years, I think.
Yeah, so awesome. Good for Kennard. But he's just a nice guy, and it even shows what kind of character he is when he made the pass for the lead, passing Chad Reed, and didn't even come close to him. Didn't retaliate at all for the previous weekend. It just shows what kind of guy he is, and I respect him for that.
Yeah, and I did notice I was watching, on the podium because Reed, he stepped up his game. I think he was a little, he had a chip on his shoulder this week for sure. But he blew off the track twice, I think, and ended up still with a podium.
Yeah.
So, solid showing for him.
Well, give it up for the old guys. The oldest, probably two of the oldest guys out there, Reed and Andrew Short, first and second right off the start. Like, those guys are powerhouses. Like, wow, that's crazy. And Short, only got the opportunity to ride once all week because of his injury, and comes back and has a great night, and just shows where his potential could be. So
yeah, I think
really cool to see. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you watch his start.
Old guys.
Yeah, you watch his start, and I'm like, Reed and Short, like, who would have called that? I was like, wow.
I know.
So yeah, Kennard, and I was watching and I thought it was pretty interesting. Reed and Kennard on the podium, definitely, shaking hands, giving each other hugs. So I think whatever hatchet there was, I think it's definitely buried at this point.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
So
Reed probably went home and his wife gave him heck. Like, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah, and you gotta love his wife because I think she's as popular on social media as he is.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
She's definitely
one of the OG motocross wives, one of the originals.
Yeah.
She's been around for a long time, and she's cool.
Yeah.
Raising those 2 kids as well, and it's hard as a woman. It's really hard for a wife to be in this industry, and she's handled herself really well.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. So, moving forward, what do we take away from this weekend, Amy? It's,
oh, man.
It's nuts. 250s, 450s, shakeups all around. Dungey to the new points leader. Starting off with 250s, what's going to happen? Obviously we got Cooper. You've got Stewart in play now. I don't know. What do we take away from this as far as 250s go?
Honestly, I think this changed the game. Points are all crazy now, and there's new leaders, and a lot of bad crashes this weekend, which put people down quite a bit in points. Things are going to get ugly. Racing is going to get more aggressive, and things are going to heat up. I think we're going to see a shake-up now of podium finishes, and I think this is the turning point where people are either going to sink or swim, and people are hungry now. Like, this is the chase. We're almost, are we halfway right now? not quite. Well, I guess it's only been five rounds. I'm thinking 250s, but I just think everything is going to change. I'm going to totally switch up my picks. I actually think that I'm going to give it to Malcolm next weekend again, Nelson, and then Cooper. I think he's getting a little a little too comfortable, and he's riding too aggressive, and he's making a lot of mistakes, and he can't get that start, and he's crashing a lot. So until he can smooth that out and find some consistency, he's kind of biting off more than he can chew right now. So I really would like to see Mookie win again.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure.
What about 250s? What do you think? What do you think for 450s?
Well, 250s, I agree with you. I think Stewart, he's going to take another win at some point this year. Bowers has been solid. I agree with you on Cooper. I mean, he's just, there's a little bit of arrogance going on there. I hate to say that.
You think?
Yeah.
You think?
But
again, he's one of the youngest riders out there. We have to remember that he's young. He looks a lot mature and he speaks really well, but he's only 18. I believe, he's a really young rider, so, the maturity level might not just be there yet, so that's where that aggression and stuff comes out, but, he's young. He's a young gun.
Yeah, and I still like Plessinger at some point, to bump up there. I think 250 is going to be interesting the way it shakes out. What we got?
Yeah.
A couple of rounds left before they make the switch to the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
for
450s.
Do you think Ken will be able to bounce back from his crash this weekend?
It's going to be interesting. I bet you he's sore all week. I mean, I don't care. You're going to be sore. Knowing him, I mean, he's one of the best in the game. He's going to bounce back. But, I don't know. Reed, he had those two off tracks. I'm not going to call him for a win, but I think, him running around in 10th place, I think maybe that's behind him. I think he's now become a top 5 threat every week.
Yes. Agreed. I agree 100%.
But God, Tomac, we haven't even talked about him. Dungy, I think Kennard is a top 5 threat every week. Millsap's looked a little better. Barsha, I don't know. It's so stacked to try and call a top 3 or top 10. So many guys equal. There's always somebody that seems like they're standing out, but now I think everybody's on the level.
Yes, exactly. There's such an even playing field right now, and it's, again, who's going to dig deeper, who's going to push harder, and that's when I think we can start to see, these more consistent guys like Dungy and stuff who are going to make less mistakes, maybe come out top. Like, I hate to say it because I really like to see the wild ones, I like to call it, but they're often the ones who make the most mistakes and cost themselves the most points. So, unfortunately, that's what happened to Kenny this weekend. But I think he can bounce back. He's still a really smart rider, and I think now maybe he'll settle down a little bit. I know that Carey Hart is probably giving him heck right now, and but no, we'll see. I don't even know who I would call right now. I do think that Dungy has a win in him. I would say that Dungy gets the win next weekend with Roxon and Kennard. That's who I'm going for. Okay. That's who it's going to be.
Dungy, I
think
Dungy's going to break through with a win sooner or later. I think next week could be it for sure. Got to ask you because you got a little insider knowledge. Seems like with the Rockstar Husqvarna team. What do we make? Anderson 10th. Obviously, Davalos is a little bit farther back there, but what do we make of the Rockstar Husqvarna team? We're going to see them hit their stride and start taking some podiums.
Oh, for sure. But did you guys see Anderson's crash this weekend? I didn't see it on TV, but I checked some highlights, and holy smokes, he just ragdoll cartwheeled. Like, that guy is tough to finish. I think he finished 10th.
Yeah, he finished 10th.
Yeah, but I mean, that crash was bad, so I really hope he rebounds and heals up this week and, comes back stronger. But it actually wasn't highlighted in the race, but he had a really nasty crash. So I hope he feels better and he can come back next weekend too, because he's in my top 5. Like, I hope he finishes 4th. He's had a couple, not so good rides. He did come out with a bang, but I think he's finding himself now again. And when we do jump to the East Coast, I really would like to see Davalos pick it up. It's about time. He needs this one.
Yeah.
He's been, he's such a nice guy, and I really, he's a Trey Kennard. everybody is rooting for Davalos always. He's the heat race winner. We want to see a main event.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're for a few rounds in now, and starting to take their toll on the bodies, and a few dropping out that way. But that's what's great about Supercross, man. It's the races are I don't want to say short, but the whole season is such an endurance just to make it 17 rounds without missing a few. Yeah.
The strong will prevail, and then you have 2 weeks before the first round outdoors.
Yeah,
this sport doesn't end. You don't get very much time off. So the strongest, fittest often are the ones who make it to the finish line. So people just have to stay healthy and ride smart. This is you got to ride smart to be able to make it to the end. So guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, for sure. Well, skipping over talking our fantasy league, we broke 300 entries, 303 entries now. So people still jumping in. I know I was pretty stoked. I was like, we were there like in the 290s, and this last week we jumped over 300. So stoked on that. And people, we still got a couple rounds to get you involved. You get to throw away 6 races, so still time. KMC Wheels, Motorcycle Superstore, still working on getting those contacts from the guys at Fantasy Action Sports League. I know they're reaching out to the individuals and then passing on my info. We are giving away gift cards still.
And if you guys are the winners,
and
if you're the winners, reach out to me too. Send me a Facebook inbox message or direct message me on Instagram, and I'll make sure I get you your Motorcycle Superstore gift card. Just send me your Fantasy Supercross ID, and we can get you hooked up there too.
Yeah, so our top 3 right now still Dickie Deal, 2 weeks in a row. He's out front. D-Bert 520. Nice. And Orvis still in third. So your friend Orvis, he's hanging
tight. Good job, Adam. That's awesome.
I keep dropping back farther and farther. I came out with a bang and was like in the top 10, and now I'm just non-existent. I don't know what the heck's going on here. Our weekly winner.
This weekend I wasn't able to register this weekend because I actually couldn't even watch the race till last night when I got home. Because I didn't have any access to the TV, so I had to stay off social media all weekend. I couldn't even scroll Instagram in the airport because I didn't want to find out what happened in the race. So that's really hard, if you can't make it, and for when it airs live, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But I was able to catch it when I got home. My parents PVR'd it for me. The first thing I'm like, hey, land in the airport. We got to go home. We got to watch the race because I just want to go look at Instagram.
And so our weekly high points was B. Zaney with 721 points. So congrats goes out to all our winners. B-Zaney. Some interesting names we got. I'm looking down this list of it's some interesting names. Rip-O-Matic, Ice Cream Sandwich. I mean, you guys, it's pretty interesting. So Amy, it was good talking with you, and we're gonna do it again next week. And everybody,
awesome.
Tweet us your picks. We want to hear. We're starting to get a few more people tweet us, and if we don't get back to you right away, we definitely will at some point. I promise you, we didn't forget about you. We see all the tweets. I know Amy's probably like me. We get so many, you just get tied up, and we'll get to them, though, I promise.
Yeah, I'm back in action this week. Again, traveling sometimes is a little hard. When I'm in the States, I don't have as much access to Wi-Fi. Being the Canadian that I am, we have terrible cell phone plans. So now that I'm back home, I'll be back in action and full force. And then not this weekend, but next week I will be at San Diego, so I'll have some really cool, behind-the-scenes info and action for you then. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Definitely looking forward to that. And we'll do it again next week. Looking forward to it. We got the third race in Anaheim coming up, and should be interesting after everything that happened this week. So looking forward to it, Amy.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, thanks for having me on, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That was Ami Houde, resident Supercross expert here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, catching up with her. And, get in on this Fantasy Supercross League, fantasyactionsportsleague.com. Right there on the front page, you'll see Down and Dirty Radio Show, Fantasy Supercross season game. Get in on that. You still got a couple of weeks. There's 6 throwaway races. And even if you get in after that, you still can get in because we're giving away Motorcycle Superstore gift cards each and every week to our weekly winners. So no excuse not to get involved. Once again, your results for the week: Kennard, Dungey, Reed, Tomac, Seeley. That was your top 5 in 450s. 250 results, your top 5: Malcolm Stewart, Cooper Webb, Alex Martin, Bowers, Zachary Bell. That was your top 5. So your point standings right now: 250s, you got Webb, followed by Bowers and Nelson as your top 3. 450s, Mr. Consistent Ryan Dungey, he's now on top. Kenny Roczen second. Kennard, Tomac, and Anderson is your top 5 there. So that wraps up some Supercross for this week. And I got to tell you, man, this has been a great Down and Dirty radio show. Don't forget, next week, I am doing a General Tire photo shoot on Monday. We're airing a Tuesday show, same time, just going to be on Tuesday. And upcoming Supercross at Anaheim. We got Rally America this weekend and the Best in the Desert Parker 425, as well as King of the Hammers coming up. So lots and lots of racing action. And don't forget, I will be at the Rally America race this coming weekend. And we'll be airing live from Atlanta, Michigan, Rally America Radio, all day Friday and Saturday. So be watching my social media feed and downanddirtyradioshow.com. We'll have all the links set up, but you Rally fans, you can tune in all day long, all weekend at the event and listen to updates from the stages there in Atlanta, Michigan from the Snowdrift Rally. Big shout out to Polaris RZR, General Tire, Rigid Industries, DirtFish Rally School, UPR.com. Make sure and check out their new website over there at upr.com. All new website they launched this year, and you want to get in and check that out, get some of their specials. Also, Blue Water Resort and Casino, Wakeboard Island, that is reopening soon. Jamar Performance Brakes, Parker Motor Company, Intensities, and got to give a shout out to Sara Price. Don't forget to check out her crowdfunding campaign. You can find out all that information at Sara Price's social media. Brent Lee and Ami Houde. Always good to have Ami on air and catch up on some Supercross. Don't forget to download our app, the official Down and Dirty Radio Show app, available on Apple, iTunes, Google Play, and the Amazon Kindle store, as well as giving me a follow at JimBeaver15 on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook.com/Down and Dirty Show for all the updates, and go to downanddirtyshow.com for our back episodes and all the latest information, news, results from the world of off-road and action motorsports. It has been yet another great show here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, and as always, we'll see you next week. We'll see you in Atlanta, Michigan in a couple of days. It's always game on.